guys, so if you made it this far, you are a real one. And this is a little extra bonus that I wanted to add in here. So this is the actual book. Like, this book is one of the few other books that will literally change your life if you read it and if you actually apply some of the principles that it talks about in here. So one of the things I wanted to go over really quick is that there's a quote by Robert T. Kiyosaki. He said, "My rich dad taught me that it was better to work hard and long years creating your own asset than helping building someone else's." And I'm pretty sure you've heard that quote as an entrepreneur, as in, if you don't build your dreams, someone will happily hire you to build theirs. And that's the main thing, is that you want to create an asset that you can have for your life. Because here's the thing, you can't pass down a job to your children. You can pass down an asset. All these billionaires, where do they get their money? From their parents, right? I'm not talking about self-made billionaires. I'm talking about billionaires that weren't self-made, right? They become billionaires overnight because their parents gifted them their business, right? So how would you like, I mean, maybe you're not a family C guy, but when it comes to legacy, how would you like to leave $1 million business onto your children, right? They don't have to work a job. They work with your business. They help build your business. They help expand your business, right? So when it talks about creating generational wealth, you know, all the rich and what the poor do is they get jobs. They do the same process. They get jobs. What do the wealthy do? Because you can be rich, but wealthy people have free time and they also make a lot of money. So wealthy people create assets that they can pass down on their children, right? If I've got 100 apartment complexes that I own, I can pass that down to my children. If I've got a bunch of businesses that I own, I can pass that down onto my children. If I get a job, I can't pass that job down onto my child. You know, and it's about creating money for more than, you know, you're here on this earth for a certain amount of years, but your money can be here as long as you manage it, right? You can set it up to where when you die, it keeps on going. It just keeps on growing. Look at the Rockefellers, right? So I keep a journal. If you don't have a journal, I recommend you get one. Keep a journal, and anytime I get like thoughts, ideas, intuitions, that just means like business ideas, I write them down in here, right? And it's just a good way to keep track. And so also when I'm reading something like this, something so crucial that this is better than a 4-year college education degree. I'm telling you this right here, right? So I want to talk about some of the things that I write down. Okay, so I just found this one section right here. And what I want to talk about is, it says in the cash flow quadrant, because my dad was a government employee, I was not going to inherit an empire. I had to build my own. And I think that's really powerful right there, because he's saying, you know, my dad owned a job, so I couldn't inherit that job, but I had to build my own empire. You ever heard that if you didn't come from a rich family, then one must come from you? So he realized that his dad had a job, and he was like, you know, when I get older, I'm going to have to repeat the same process that my dad did. And you know what? I don't want to do that. I know right now that I don't want to get a job. I want to create jobs, right? And it's about being in that different mindset. And that's a crucial part to this, because each one of these, he goes really in depth on this book about why are people in these quadrants? Why is an employee an employee? Why is a business owner a business owner? Why is self-employed and self-employed? And why is an investor an investor, right? It's because of the mindset, right? Employees have a different mindset than a business owner. Self-employed people have a different mindset. An investor, anyone can move in any of these, but it's the mindset that holds most people back. Think about it right now. If you're a candy seller, which you most likely are because you're watching my video, you sell candy, but why? Anyone can sell candy, but it's the mindset that comes with selling candy, right? Anyone, I mean, like literally anyone can sell candy, but most people don't. Why? Because they don't have the mindset it takes to sell candy. They're not in that mindset, and that's when it really comes down to being an entrepreneur, being a business owner, becoming a millionaire, which is what I hope to become. And thank you guys for joining me on the journey. It's about the mindset you have, because the mindset is what controls our actions, right? If you look at a person who goes out there and decides to work 40 years of their life and give it to a company, why? I'm not saying that's a bad or a good thing. I'm just saying, look at the deeper reason why. Why do people do the things they do? It's all because of the mind, and that mind is what motivates their actions. Now, next thing I want to talk about, some more quotes in here. I just want to go through some of these quotes. They're like really good. Okay, this is what I'm gonna go over this one last thing. This will be it. So in the book, he also talked about earned income versus portfolio income versus passive income, right? And most of us, the reason you want to be a business owner is because, or an investor, is because most of us, we spend all our life working for earned income, right? And earned income is basically you work a job, they pay you by the hour or by salary. Passive income is when people say, hey, I'm gonna invest in stocks, and they get money from their stocks, also known as dividends. Portfolio income is just what I said. Passive income is when you invest in real estate and get cash flow money every year or every month from your investments and real estate. And here's the major difference. Oh my gosh. Camera just fell. So here's the major difference. Earned income is taxed, right? This is what basically it's like. This is what earned income looks like, right? Imagine this is your pay. This is for every dollar, right? Imagine this is $100. Depending on what your tax bracket is, when you get earned income, the government's gonna do this. Oh, this is your $100. That's nice. Hold on. It comes to the government first. Here's your check. I don't know about you, but I want both pieces, right? But when you're a passive investor and you're investing in real estate, this is what happens. All right, let's say this is your check. You get your check. What you do is you go and spend as much money as you can on the business, and then you say, hey, this is all I got left. And then you give it to the government, and the government says, all right, there you go. See the difference? Portfolio income is kind of like when you invest in stocks, because that gets taxed too. It's like, here, there's your money. Okay, let me see your money. They don't take as much, but they say here. So as you can see, the best type of income is passive income, because one thing Robert T. Kiyosaki always says is the rich don't work for money. Why do the rich not work for money? Because it gets taxed so much, right? And what are taxes? Taxes are the money that they take out your check before they give it to you. And you can't make money faster as every time they take it out your check. Every time you work hard, right? You work 40 hours a week, you're working hard. But every time you get your money, the government goes, there you go. I feel disrespected when they give me that, right? I don't know about you, but that's disrespectful to me. Now, that's why they can never get ahead, because they're working so hard for money. The rich don't do that. They let their money work for them. They put it in real estate. So when they get their money, they get it first and say, hey, I only want this to be taxed. They give it to the government. The government says, okay, here you go. I don't know about you, but that just blew my mind. Why? Because the school doesn't teach this. You'll never learn this anywhere, but you can learn it right here. You can learn literally. This author wrote a book called Rich Dad Poor Dad, which if you haven't seen Assets and Liabilities, watch that video, link in the description. That book created the most millionaires out of any book. He goes in depth and literally talks about any and everything you need to know when it comes to creating and building a business, the mindsets, the systems you need in place, the fears, what most people say and why it's not accurate. Why? Because whenever we need advice on how to get money, we look around us, and most of the people who are offering us advice that we've asked are in the same financial situation as us. This book literally changed my life. Literally, if I hadn't read Rich Dad Poor Dad, I would not be reading this book. I wouldn't be reading any other book, and I wouldn't be sitting here before you today talking to you about this, and I wouldn't be making $600 a week selling snacks at my school. If you're watching this video, you do have that mindset. So the next step is just to increase it, right? Next step is just to go to the next level. And if you want to go to the next level, go and get this book now. And if you want me to go into full depth, I'm talking about covering chapter by chapter to where you don't even have to read the book, because we'll go over it together, let me know. And without further ado, I love you guys. Peace.